Hi guys, thanks for tuning in for the third week on the newsletter. I want to give you a little bit of information this week on hydration that you can add into your daily routine on top of the sleep cycles and circadian rhythm work that we looked at last week, and a little bit of information on Pure Loser. If you've got any questions on the circadian rhythm work that we went through in the last newsletter, please do let me know. Either grab me in class, drop me an email. At the bottom of all the newsletters, there are links where you can get in contact with me on Facebook, Twitter, and email, etc., so that you can put questions across to me, or alternatively just come and grab me when we are in and around the club. Okay guys, so first off, Pure Loser. Pure Loser is a really simple, it's a 6-week course where we look at nutrition, lifestyle, a little bit of training, a bit of mindset in there as well. It's about looking at setting you a realistic goal over a 6-week period, helping to keep you accountable and striving towards that, and giving you the tools and the information for you to make better choices with your eating and your training. Normally, if you were going through and doing 6 weeks with a trainer, it could end up being quite a hefty cost. What we want to do at Pure Loser is try and get as many people involved in this as possible. There's a lot of information going around in relation to Pure Loser to do with how much weight the average person will lose over the 6-week course. A lot of our other clubs where it's been running for quite some time, it's been really, really popular. I know with you guys all being really, really busy and shooting in and out of the club, the little A-frame board that is by the pods when you come in sometimes gets overlooked. As a result, last week when I was running my first week, there was nobody actually booked in, partly down to my fault. I'd completely forgotten that last week was our first week. So as a result, I've spoken to Michelle, our general manager, and I will be starting my first week this week. So if you want to get 6 weeks worth of nutritional advice, plus some advice on training, we even do a week, maybe 2, where we actually look at training as a group. Please do let me know and get you involved in that. It's £20 for the 6 weeks. So it's not £20 a week, it's £20 for 6 hours worth of information, where if you're the only person that's there, that's £20 for 6 hours worth of essentially PT. You get one-to-one service. There's 2 or 3 people in there, obviously your time's going to be split, but it does give you the opportunity to ask some really specific questions in a one-on-one environment, or even a tiny, tiny small group environment. You're then also going to have other people there that will help to keep you accountable with your goals. All you need to do is, at the vending machines at reception, you can buy one of the little blocks. It's £20, little matchstick size box, £20 for 6 pieces of paper, which basically say, welcome to Pure Loser, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Turn up. I'm running it on a Thursday lunchtime at 1 o'clock. So if you want to get involved, either buy one, book yourself in on that Thursday, and then turn up, or alternatively with the links on the newsletter, speak to me and I can give you some more information. Those people that do book in and do attend to my sessions on a Thursday, you guys will get some extra stuff as well. And as I said in combat today at lunchtime, there will be prizes as well. So guys, that's Pure Loser, done and dusted. So I want to keep this one really, really short. I know it can be quite tempting for me to keep waffling on. So this week, what I'm looking at is hydration. So one really big important thing for us to remember is that the human body is a very complicated and intelligent system, or series of systems that are interlinked, interwebs and working together. At the same time, it's also very, very stupid. And one of the biggest things, I actually gave this little bit of information to the participants of Pure Loser last time we run one at the beginning of the year. It's very, very simple for you and me, for everyone, to confuse thirst for hunger, which sounds ridiculous because you kind of think, I know when I'm thirsty, I know when I'm hungry. But it's very easy if you think you're hungry when actually you're thirsty, and then you go and eat, and you ingest 200, 300, 400 calories worth of food. There's going to be water in that, so it will hit that center in your brain and address that need for additional fluid. But you've also ingested 300 or 400 calories worth of nutrition, of energy that you don't actually need. Which this is where it can actually be really easy for us to overeat and struggle with our weight loss and our changes of body fat and body composition. So my biggest tip to you would be, try and have around 250 milliliters of water. So it's not a massive amount. My water bottle here's one I prepared earlier. This is 300 mils of water in here, in this bottle. This is BPA free as well, so stop drinking out of plastic bottles that are recyclable, because it's going to make your legs fat. It's really, really bad for you. But that's a whole another newsletter. Anyway, try and have that. If you have 200-300 milliliters of water, wait about 20-30 minutes. If you're still hungry at that point, then you read your signals right, you're actually hungry, you've not lost anything. You've just waited a little bit longer before you've eaten anything. If after having that 200 or 300 milliliters of water, 15, 20, 30 minutes later, you think to yourself, I don't feel hungry, you probably weren't hungry, in which case you've just saved yourself eating 300 calories worth of food that you didn't actually need. Yet you've actually increased your fluid intake for the day, because previously you probably wouldn't have been drinking that. Hi guys, so you may well have noticed I've moved, the screenshots moved a little bit. I was just going through, putting everything away, and just thought I'm going to listen back to what it is that I've been saying to make sure that I've not missed anything. And the first clip was, I want to keep this really short, and realised that this section of the clip that I'd done was 8 minutes long, and thought it's probably a little bit too long for a short email. So the infographic behind me is basically just a few figures so that I can give you some information and make sure that I haven't actually made anything up, and that I'm giving you correct information. We'll make sure there is a picture of this in the newsletter so that you can actually see this at a decent size. It's basically just a case of the amount of water that's in the body and in various organs within our bodies as well. So men generally have a little bit more fluid in their body than women do, generally because pound for pound, muscle tissue, lean body weight will contain more water than fatty tissue. Due to women's higher levels of estrogen, we ladies will generally hold a little bit more a little bit more fatty tissue than men will. There are pros and cons relating to that from an evolutionary and our health focus that we can chat about another time. We're then looking at various things in the body, so the brain and the heart, the lungs, the skin, muscles, kidneys, bones, etc., and the quantity of those organs or those systems in the body, what their mass is. And what percentage of that mass is of water. So things like your brain and your heart, they're roughly 74% of those tissues are made up of water. Your lungs are 83% water. That's not 83% of the water in your body. If you took out your lungs, 83% of the mass of your lungs would be made up from water. So that water is there to help with moving of carbon dioxide and oxygen from the lungs into the bloodstream and vice versa. So it's really important that we are getting enough water in our diets and within our daily lives to make sure that we are helping these tissues to perform the functions that they are meant to be doing. So I mentioned earlier on in one of the previous clips about simply drinking 200 or 300 milliliters of water whenever it's a case that you think you're hungry, and then hopefully noticing that you weren't actually that hungry, and by having that fluid, it's actually going to mean that you're hydrating yourself, and this is going to help you to keep these numbers where they should be. Then the thing to remember is that roughly 1% drop in your hydration levels isn't really the end of the world. It's only 1%, but it is about a 10% drop in your performance. And I know you and I, we're not athletes, we don't compete for a profession, but if you're coming to the gym and your goal from being at the gym is because you want to lose a couple of pounds, 2 or 3 pounds, a stone, 2 dress sizes, you want to make your biceps 3 inches bigger, whatever it might be, that's your performance. What you don't want is all the effort you're putting in with your eating, your training, your sleeping, and for you to get 10% less than what you could be able to because you didn't drink 1 extra litre of water. Now, I'm not saying we have to drink 10, 15 litres a day, but if you were to look at increasing it, for most people, I would say, looking on where they are, if they had about 1 litre for about every, say, 20, 25 kilos of body weight, it's a good place to start. If you look at that quick little equation and you think to yourself, I weigh 50 kilos, 50, 60 kilos, so Steve's saying I should have between 2 and 3 litres of water. If you currently only have about 1, don't try and suddenly jump that to 2, 2.5, 3 litres. It's going to be a massive jump for you. It's going to be... you're going to find that actually you spend most of your time running off to the bathroom as a result. Your best bet is to look at increasing it a little bit over the period of, say, 2 or 3 weeks, so it gives you time for your body to adapt. Your kidneys will take a couple of days to adapt to the changes. One thing you can do that will give you a real good health benefit with this, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt in that water. Literally a little tiny sprinkle, a slice or two of lemon, and about 200 to 300 milliliters of water. Have that every morning in the body. That will give you your micronutrients, your potassium, your sodium that you need, and the lemon or lime will give it a little bit of flavoring, but it'll also help to alkalize your body and help you be a little bit healthier while helping to maintain this. So guys, as always, it's been great speaking to you. I have tried to keep this nice and short. If you've got any questions on this or any of the other videos that I've done, please do let me know. There are links to Facebook, Twitter, etc. and email in the newsletter, or just come and speak to me in class. And again, if there's anything you want me to talk about, please do let me know and I'll put it in there. And again, Pure Loser, week 1 for me starts this week, Thursdays at 1 o'clock. It's £20. Speak to me, let me know, or get involved. Just buy your tokens in the vending machines at reception for £20. Anyone that comes along to my sessions will be getting extra bonus material and also prizes, etc. for taking part for those 6 weeks. If you're the only person that turns up, you get 6 weeks with me for £20, which is a real bargain. Guys, it's been great. Take care, and I will see you guys later.